here at Battenkill Bicycles on a beautiful fall day in Manchester, Vermont, which means it'll soon be trainer season. So today we're going to set up and connect to Zwift the Cycelops M2 Smart Trainer. So today we're going to move quickly through unpacking, setting up, installing a bike, and connecting to Zwift. For a more detailed version of the setup, you can refer to the manufacturer's video linked on this video. So just taking out, we have, I'm going to guess that's a power supply. We have the roller and resistance unit. Hardware to attach the bike and the resistance unit to the actual stand. Not too much to it. Okay, so now we're going to put all the parts required on the stand. First is the other half of this that holds the bike to the stand. You want to get the concave side facing the bike. And just sort of put it through there, and what you're trying to do is line up the threaded holes with the track. And screw this into the threaded holes. Later, the idea being you put the bike in, you line up the quick release, and it holds it to the stand. Next is putting on this bolt, which if you look in the instructions, it's not really clear in the picture. You might be tempted to do that, and you're like, nope, there's actually a cylinder on this side. And that's what you're trying to get. Next, you're putting on the resistance unit. I find that this space is a little tight, trying to get it over this plate, so that takes a little work. Make sure you pick up the bolt and that it's on this side of the resistance unit. That's what I mean by it being tight. Once the resistance unit is between the plates, you've got to line up the hole for the bolt that, I guess, acts as a axle. And when you look on this side, you can sort of see where the next hole is you've got to get to. Don't push it all the way through, because you still have to get this specialty nut in this slot. The hole goes in first. Something's interfering with it, and it's not the bolt. Now it is that I pushed the bolt in too far. There we go. Back to finding the hole again that it has to go in. There we go. this should pivot up with the bolt going through the hole there. And put the handle on, just get it started for now. And next we'll be putting on the bike. So one thing to check before we get the bike is, how is this moving? Now, I can kind of force it, but that can lead to added resistance when the bike is mounted. So this needs to be just a little before tight. Too tight, and the unit won't move the way it's supposed to for you. Now the unit can it's almost falling back to the handle again. We've removed the rear skewer that comes with the bike because it doesn't fit nicely into the trainer and would be loose. All trainers come with a standard quick release rear axle that does fit the trainer. So that's been put in the bike. I'm going to grab the bike, we're going to put it in the trainer. Okay, now we're putting the bike onto the trainer. And what's easiest is if you line up the non-drive side and get it in the concave tube, and then move the bike around so that the drive side matches up, and then you tighten this lever. And then when it locks in, it is really secure, which is important. Next, we're going to tighten down the trainer to the tire. It's important before you tighten down the trainer to the wheel that you just wipe it off so that you don't have any dirt and grime you might have brought in from outside that will scuff up, mark, and otherwise cause the tire to slip on the roller wheel of the trainer. Okay, so on this model they have the yellow handled clutch tightener knob. And you'll see tension increases, and basically if you've used just a torque wrench, you'll get the same feeling when you've reached correct tightness. And that way you're consistent with each ride, that you have the same amount of pressure on your tire, provided that you've also filled your tire up the same each time. And this is another little cool feature. If you have an uneven floor in your home, this is a uneven foot pad you can turn and level the trainer, which will be kinder on your bike, kinder on you. So once the wheel is tightened down to the trainer, the tire is going to look pretty crushed under there, but that is the correct tension. And the wheel and trainer spin with no slipping. There'll be a lot more power involved when you're actually pedaling, so that's important. So now that we're connected to the trainer, we're going to plug in to the wall our trainer, and it will be ready for pairing. We're also going to take a block to raise up the front wheel. It's important that you raise the front by at least whatever you've raised the back, so that you have a level bike. I have set up a fan because I am going to sweat and it feels really good when the fan is on. And now we'll talk about what you can actually use to run Zwift. You can do it on a computer or a laptop connecting via Bluetooth. You can use an iPad, which actually runs Zwift itself. And I've done things like mount it on the bike, and there it's accessible for you while you ride. Don't love this because if you need to operate the controls while you're pedaling, you get a lot of movement in just this particular holder that I have. So what I am going to set up and show you is using Apple TV. It has to be Apple TV 4 or later so you can download the Zwift app. I'm going to use the Zwift companion app, which allows you to control it, which is easier than controlling the app with the Apple remote. And also, if you don't have a computer or an iPad, probably the cheapest solution is the Apple TV. So now I'm going to start the Zwift app on the Apple TV using the Apple remote. So it brings you to the login screen. I'm already there. And in we go. And as soon as you connect, this screen changes to the cycling world that we're in for the day. And it brings you to the pairing screen. All the things that you see in blue have already paired. I'm not wearing a heart rate monitor, so it's not paired. It's Bluetooth only, so if you have like a Garmin heart rate monitor, it's not going to connect because ANT Plus is what Garmin uses. So I bought a Wahoo. And then you go into, love the Apple remote, also controls the volume on this TV. And when you've got the ride you want to do, you go to ride, and it brings you right into barracks sitting on the side of the road waiting to start pedaling. A couple things that I can point out on the screen. The big white 0 is going to be the power number coming from the trainer. The RPMs also coming from the trainer. It's a really nice feature of this trainer is you don't need to add an additional cadence sensor to get your cadence. Your ride information, how fast, how far, how high, how long. A little percentage up here is the grade of the road that you're on. This represents all the riders in front of me and behind me who are close on the road. And these are the best times today for the loop that I've selected to ride. And now I can put down the Apple remote. Any of the controls that I would do with that I can operate from the Zwift companion app on my phone. Okay. So there are things like stop the ride, turn around and go the other way. You can wave at the other riders. You can give them a thumbs up, tell them to ride on. You can ring a bell. You can tell them it's hammer time. You can tell them you're toast. You can take a picture of your ride to put on your Strava later, for example. And you have a close-up of the map here that you're riding, but you can also change that to the dashboard, which is all the ride information. How fast, how far, how high, how long. All that can read out right here. There's a little chat screen that you can control here. Messaging screen here, other Zwifters that you follow or are following you that are also riding. Okay, so we're going to get started on our ride here. Zwift provides nice, detailed worlds to ride in. And everybody who's on Zwift is somewhere in this world right now. Cruising along at a nice 15 miles per hour now. I don't know if you can see it on this video, but some cyclists on the screen are riding with screens in front of them. That means they're doing workouts that I showed you before we started the ride. Alright, so we're in the ride. Cadence is 73, my power is 75. I'm doing 17 miles per hour. I can ride for hours and hours indoors if I want. Thank you.